How to edit or update a student record. So there are two main places that this can be done. First, at the administration portal, and then secondly, on the school fees interface. Let us first of all look at how this can be done on the administration portal, and later we look at the school fees interface. So after you've been able to successfully log into your account, you go into the administration portal and then you browse through the menu items and select the students portal. So at the students portal, you have to select the class of this child that you want to edit the record. So at this point, let's say you want to edit a child in basic 1. So you look for basic 1 and open the class list. Okay, so the child we want to edit the record is Kweku Felix Kweku Mensah. So the Kweku has been wrongly spelled here. So instead of Kweku, it is rather Kweku. So at this point, we would want to edit or update the spellings of the Kweku in his name. So to do that, what we have to do is to look on the row of the child, and at the edit column on his row, we click to select the edit symbol. So we will click on this edit symbol here to open his portal to make the changes or the editing or update that we would want to do on his name. So we click on the edit symbol and it opens his form. So on the form, you are able to see that he's a new student and then he's a normal student. His first name is here, Felix Kweku. So at where the Kweku is, this way we want to make the changes. So we clear the E and then we update it with E. So Felix Kweku. Let's assume there are other names that were supposed to be part of his name but they were omitted. So let's say it's Felix Kweku Ni Noi Mensah. Ni Noi Mensah. So I have edited the Kweku. I've corrected the Kweku by replacing the A with E, and I've also added the Ni Noi to the Mensah. So now I can update the record of Ni Noi. So note that anytime you come to edit the child's records at this particular point, the system would always require that all the red asterisk boxes are filled before you are able to save or update the record. So as you can see here, the admission date has not been provided yet, and if you try saving, you are not going to be allowed to do so until you provide the details. So let's try saving it without providing that details and see if we will be able to do so. So by clicking on update entry, the system is saying that please fill out this particular field. You get it? So this part has to be filled before you be able to successfully update it. And so if you have the admission date of that particular type, you should be able to input it, or else you may have to find a way to update the record. So let me assume that the child's admission date was on the August 12, 2024. Okay, so now I can now go and update the record for Kweku. So now let's search to see if the update has been effected. So we can now see Felix Kweku Ni Noi Mensah. So this is how you can update a child's record, and this is at the administration portal. Let us quickly go to the school fees interface. Just as we saw in the adding of a new admission or a new student to the system video, we saw that there are two places that we can add students. That is at the administration portal and also on the school fees interface. So in the same way, the editing can be done on the administration portal or on the school fees interface. So let's look at the school fees interface. Right, so let's go back to menu, and on the school fees interface, we go to the finance, and then we look for school fees. Okay, right. So on the school fees portal, we also go to the class of the child. Okay, so let's go to basic 1. So let's assume Felix that the boy Felix, this Felix, the spellings of his Felix is not F-E, it's P-H-E. Okay, P-H-E. So we need to correct that. All right, so on the school fees interface, there's also an edit column. All right, so if you are an accountant or an administrator and you have access to the school fees interface, you don't need to be going to the administration and coming back to the side to correct before you are able to effect school fees payment. Right on the school fees interface, you are able to do all of these things without necessarily going back and forth. All right, so let us try to edit it. So editing here is quite simpler, because this, by clicking on the edit button, it gives you access to the quick enrollment. You are not going to see the full form as we saw at the administration side. You only see the quick enrollment form. All right, so here you can now effect your changes. So let's see, the Felix is what you want to correct. So it's P-H-E-L-I-X. okay, so Felix Kwekuni Noimensa. And once we are done, all what we have to do is to come down here and click on the update record. Okay, good. And so that is that. So let's go and check to see if the correction has been effected. Yes, so as you can see, Felix Kwekuni Mensa has been updated. All right, so this is correct, and so that is it. So this is the simplest way. It's very simple. How to edit students' record is very simple, and this is the way to go about it. Thank you so much, and stay blessed.